back to Youth Counsel. Thank you so much for joining us. Again, my name is Chandra Vimala, and I have a guest speaker today, and thank you, Kavya, for joining us.
You're welcome.
She's a yoga acharya. She's a devotee of Swamiji, Nithyananda, and so she's going to be joining us and kind of talking a little bit about that. We had quite a few emails about young people that are talking about body image, and that they've struggled a lot with it. And obviously in North America, especially the media, and having the ads and the movies, and having to feel a lot of insecurity around seeing those types of images, especially with the amount that they've been exposed to. We said in the last show it was over like 11 hours that a lot of the young people are connected to all of the media, and that is a lot in order for them to start to take in that aspect of it. It's really sad to say that the obesity rate has been becoming an epidemic, and that is globally. And so they are struggling with what to do with that, because a lot of the exercise or the other things don't work. We will get into another show about emotion and kind of the dieting or things that Swamiji talks about. But in this piece, we were kind of talking a little bit more the physical activity that actually connects with your very being. And so Swamiji always likes to kind of talk a little bit about facts and a little bit of research that is kind of out there, so that you are informed as well, because I think it's important that that how much kind of is out there. So we always have what we call a World Health Organization, and World Health is covering globally. So it's a lot of statistics that come out from them, so that we can just kind of bring informed information. But it says kind of like 1.6 billion are overweight, and that's around 15 and plus. And over 20 million children are overweight globally in kind of our 2005. And obesity has become an epidemic, and it's over 1 billion that has become kind of overweight, and at least 30 million of them is clinically obese. And so it's something that's coexisting kind of with developing countries, and that's kind of obviously about undernutrition that's happening. But it does become complex, obviously, in a developing country. But it's serious about social and psychological aspects of it, and it covers everything, and every age is in socioeconomic. It doesn't cover just the people that are poor or people that are rich. It covers completely across. Some of it kind of is astounding to me when I started to look at the research. It always sometimes does, is that 80% of the children that are 10 or under are terrified of becoming fat. And 50% around the elementary schools, want to be thinner. And so, like I said, we had kind of 11 hours of that media, exposure as well of, like I say, the movies and the videos and everything else. So that's kind of showing how much kind of fear and things that are in there. And about half of the teenagers feel that they always should be on diets. And, obviously, we're kind of going in the wrong direction of always wanting to go into, cutting back my food, or I'm going to just eat a carrot. And, it's not going to be, healthy ways of looking after themselves. And so there's just that huge increase that's continuing to happen within our world. And Swamiji has recently talked about that a lot of times there's just this kind of emptiness within us, and there's such a disconnect from our very being, and so we're trying to kind of stuff ourselves in all kinds of different ways. And so he's developed a yoga program that is specially designed by an enlightened master, and so it's been an amazing for my experience in yoga, and to see with young people. But you have worked a lot with young people, and you've taught at colleges, and so we thought it was wonderful for Kavya to come on and talk about her experiences, and also talk about the yoga and what he's designed and what it looks like. So
all the question, all the problem that you mentioned, they're all related. They all are related. And it's all from the mind. So it is very unfortunate for young people started to suffocate by stress from school and relationship, and also bombarded by all this negative emotion from media. And it is very unfortunate because as a young age, when you getting mature, you want to do so much. You wanted to become a leader. But unfortunately, the foundation is not solid. So for example, I have taught yoga, right, in the college. And a couple of girls, they're very young, they just come and told me, you know, when I got upset, when I have argument with my mother, and the first thing I want to do, I want to go to the gym. Because just want to escape, right away. But unfortunately, the results after going to the gym, while they're working on the body, watching the TV, what's on the TV? You know that. News, what we see on the news. 99% on the materials are so negative, okay? If there's any soap opera show, what they're talking about? Very complicated relationships, okay? So the science of Nithya Yoga is trying to bring in the very depth of the connection with our being through the breath. The sign is when we are breathing using the prana in us. Think about it. If we are doing the either exercise or yoga, but your eyes, your sensation of the eyes is watching all this negative emotion, what you're bringing into your being. Okay? So when I describe this science to the girls in the college, she just told right away, have a click. She said, now I understand why I got even more upset after I went to the gym. I thought went to the gym, I sweat, I will feel better, I will be happier. No. And the beauty of Nithya Yoga is truly is an authentic science. And I personally feel like after teaching different ages of group for this yoga practice, for young people definitely need this. Because they're actually emotionally, they're looking for solution. But unfortunately, at home, what do they get? Judgment from the parents, right? Even though parents themselves also have a lot of issue, generation after generation. Oh, turn on the TV, what do they get? Complicated relationship story over and over again, right? And friends, everybody have problem. What do they get? The answer. So the beauty of Nithya Yoga is bringing their very being back to who they really are. Because when we were born, we all are very blissful being, right? We are so happy and just so fulfilled. But unfortunately, all these years down the road, we have all these problems, school, getting jealous from other people, other classmates, judgment from anyone. So piling up a lot of negative emotions. So the very powerful science that Nithyananda have been giving us is taking out this negative emotion.
So how does that happen? Like, what's so special about Nithya Yoga that takes actually this emotion that other yoga or...
Right. So basically, first of all, Nithya Yoga is a whole package. Yoga in the West, we always just pay attention into the physical aspect. Okay? But if we look at what is yoga, what yoga is good for you, why yoga is good for us, because integration of mind and the body. And me myself have practiced 10 years yoga in the West before encounter Nithya Yoga. And to be very, very honest, I only get the sensation and the satisfaction of my physical aspect. Okay? Not the mind. I don't even know how to integrate the mind and the body until I practice Nithya Yoga. So the sign, go back to your question, is the whole Nithya Yoga we plan, we able to create the technique, okay, to integrate the mind and the body. So when you really integrate the mind, your body, you are working on your own self. A lot of self-realization is happening. And physical-wise, a lot of opening. Unblock the blockages. And then after the practice of asana, we have 5 steps of meditation. Okay? The meditation, the science of the meditation is just so powerful. We have 5-step meditation. The first step is chaotic breathing. Okay? The chaotic breathing, pretty much, basically the science is our breath and the emotion are very closely connected. Okay? For example, if I'm very stressful, if I'm angry, so my breathing will be very shallow, right? But then say if I'm on vacation looking at the ocean, I will just say, this is so nice.
And it gets down into where we start with the breathing, down into where this lower of the belly is. Because when people are stressed, they always breathe up and higher. And
that's true. That's true.
It brings back down to where, you know, you're really getting into bringing oxygen into your body.
Yeah, actually we don't really use our lungs. We don't really fully use the capacity of our lungs. So the chaotic breathing basically is shaking all these emotion that has been piling up, because we all have certain type of thinking patterns. That's why, like, especially older people, okay, they just keep doing the same thing over and over again. They cannot get out of the box. They can't even think out of the box. So for young people, if they start practicing this yoga and using the meditation technique, the first step, chaotic breathing, okay, which means what? In the very young age, they're able to take out a lot of negative emotion that they don't want. Because we have so many unwanted emotion that we do not even want to think about it. But somehow, because already it's in our being, our muscles store memories. And how do we get rid of them? No one has the solution. And we are actually very fortunate that have the Enlightened Master give us such a big gift. And the first step, chaotic breathing, we are really breathing chaotically, okay? So that, like what I was saying earlier, like the very thinking pattern through the breath is already shaken. You see? So that you really shaken the thinking pattern. And then the step 2, we're going to do the humming. Okay, the humming is basically the science that we take out the inner chattering. When I teach the college student, when we did the humming after the asana practice, they loved it, because they have never experienced the mind can be so quiet. Because the science is when you hum very loud from your navel, your mind is not working. If somehow in the beginner, if there's some thoughts coming up, you just hum even louder. You can play with it just like a child. The more that they hum louder, the mind is just completely silence. And they were so amazed. What they feel is just vibration in their body. And then from that on, they simply just drop into the quiet zone. That is the meditative zone. And then the third step, we're going to cleanse all of our 7 chakras one by one. The science of each 7 chakras is related to emotions. So lust, fear, worries, and attention need, jealousy, and ego and seriousness, and discontentment. So we pretty much just put like a small amount of time, a minute, just relax, and just pretty much like revisiting a patient. I like to say that, because after all these years bombarded by the media, by all this negative emotion, we really become a patient. You know, simply just allow the very loving energy that you have to bring it back to your being and give some healing energy to every single chakra. And after that, you just feel like you're just so happy and so light. All these college students, they just, after the class, you can see their aura just shift. It is really beautiful to see. And then the 4th step of the meditation is called unclutching. It is a very beautiful science also from our Enlightened Master. Basically, the science is our mind just trained to clutch on certain thing. But the very nature of our mind, every single thought, they are individual, they're not connected. But because of the way how our parents think, how our grandmother think, how our grandfather think, everybody think like this. When one thing happens, you just right away connect to another thing. So for example, if I'm not happy, like at this moment I saw my dog having an accident, then right away I was thinking about, oh my God, 5 years back another cat died. Oh, 6 years back my neighbor's pet died. So maybe, you know what, I just determined I'm not supposed to have pet. You know, this simple incident is very, very easy for human nature, the mind, to just clutch everything together. And if we have the intelligence, okay, to realize that all the thoughts, they are completely independent. And using this 4th step technique to just pretty much go into the being that without putting them together, simply just watch, step back and watch, just like a movie. You just watch what your mind is doing, but without getting involved. This is a very beautiful meditation technique.
You talked about the fish tank, that really the air bubbles are not connected, and it's just like the thought pattern. And just like you said, we connect everything. So if we see something, then we connect it to this and that. But actually, your thoughts aren't connected.
Exactly.
They are all independent thoughts, and so we're just in the present now, and it's not connected to like the past.
Yes.
So that's where he's taught us about kind of the unclutching of being able to see that they're all separate and allow that to kind of flow.
Yes, yes, yes. It's a very beautiful science, and it's so easy to understand, When we explain this to the college kids, they all understand. But just because the school did not tell them, and they don't know it. But when you try to open the door to them, it's like, wow, yeah. Actually, it is so easy to be happy. Just don't allow your mind to keep connecting, right? And then the 5th step of the meditation is gratitude. I think gratitude is a very, very big thing that we have to really infuse to everyone. If from the young age, just like for children, we teach them how to have gratitude, just be thankful for everything that we have. The world can be just so beautiful.
Yes.
And in so many cases, we do things without awareness, right? And another beauty about Nithya Yoga is because when we are able to integrate the mind and the motion and the movement, awareness right away just come up. We will be putting tremendous awareness, be aware of our body movement. Even though very simple movement, just like raising my arms, but if I aware, a lot of things is happening. I started to realize about my body, my arms, my forearms, my fingers, everything. But unfortunately in the society, because we are in such a rush type of pattern of style of living, we just don't have the space, or our excuse, we like to say we don't have time to think about it. But no, that's why we have to discipline ourselves to practice Nithya Yoga every day. And just through that 90 minutes of practice, we are able to gain so much awareness. When we have awareness, we really pay attention what we do about every single thing. And automatically, we will make a good choice. So many unfortunate things happen in the world because people don't have the clarity. So awareness simply brings clarity.
That's just very true. I mean, we're in such a busy society, and throwaway of everything, and we've forgotten kind of to get back to our roots of gratitude, and
yes,
and really kind of being able to really having those blessings of whatever that we have. And so, that's why it's a beautiful thing to kind of end with it, to remember about the gratitude that we need to bring back.
Yes.
Because really, I see it sometimes as that we've given away our power. And this show is about empowering, so
right.
It's really about knowledge and awareness here, and having these discussions, and again about guest speakers, and having specialty in different areas, because through the media and I'm sorry, not just about media, but just society and everything, and it's just compiled of everything, that we're just giving away this power, and we're asking, what we're trying to do is get yourself empowered again, and so there's all these techniques and different things that we're talking about, and so this is where I've seen that. We've gone through group homes, and it's just been amazing. And I think especially with some of the meditation technique, is that they're active. Because I think sometimes, and I know for myself, I have ADHD a bit, and So it's, hyperactivity, and I can't seem to settle down to any meditation. And so when I first done this, it was amazing because I could do this chaotic breathing, and I could do the humming, and I don't know, it just brought this huge awareness to my body. And I finally was able to calm enough to actually just sit and be able to just go through the chakras, and that's those 7 energies. You have main energies within your body. And it was just amazing. I was just so thrilled that I actually had enough time to become aware of my breath and my body, and the things I saw where they had some difficulties, let's say with the back, or that they were having extra weight, so they couldn't ever maybe touch their toes or whatever, beginning with the yoga. But this is the beauty, is that you don't need to. You don't have to have a year of yoga to be able to do these postures, or you don't have to have any specialty. It was just amazing to watch people of young people of all different walks of form that can do Nithya Yoga.
Yeah, that is actually the beauty of Nithya Yoga. Nithya Yoga is for everybody, because the science of Nithya Yoga is about connect your body and your mind within. It's not about how flexible you are. And I have taught people who have arthritis, who can do so many poses, but just by using the science of Nithya Yoga, like 2 classes, she's already like, wow, I have never felt so relaxed and light for a long time. So for young people is going to be a real breakthrough if someone willing to practice Nithya Yoga every day. Because number one, the fun things about Nithya Yoga, like the 5-step meditation that I mentioned, they're active, like you said, and young children, because of the media messages give them, like they don't like to sit still, they don't like to feel bored. So actually, when I taught the Nithyananda 5-step meditation technique, they loved it, because they feel like they're working on something. And actually, many people feel like the Nithya Yoga, the way how it's planted, it's just like going to the gym. You're working out on your body, but in a much deeper level. And quite often people, including myself, I sweat so much just by the first 2-step meditation. And also the asana, when you synchronize your breath and the body, do work on your body like this, you just sweat intensely.
Some people might not know what asana means.
Okay.
They may not have ever done yoga, so.
Asana basically is like the poses. And the science of Nithya Yoga is we are synchronizing the breath and the poses. For example, if I'm inhaling with my arms, lifting up my arms, and exhaling, I'm putting my arms down. The simple synchronization, anyone can do, even up to senior, they can do it completely. But just because the science of the breath and the movement, when you put your mind, the awareness, the intensity into it, it's become like a deep experience. And young people definitely, they really enjoy this. And for sure, all the problem that we were talking about before, about like the powerless, feeling powerless, Nithya Yoga is like the really beautiful solution for them. Because after all, we have to tap into who we really are. We all are very intelligent individual. We all are very creative. We all are very strong. So through this science, after we take out all this negative emotion, what left is who we really are. Then people started to feel the strength, started to have the confidence, and then slowly, all the good thing will happen.
Because we're all such unique beings, every single one of us.
Yes.
We're here on Earth, and we're all here for a reason, and we're all, like I said, very unique. And so that's where the beauty is, that you start to connect with your true self and nature. And I think that's like what we were talking about with part of that obesity and things that are happening, that it's just so disconnected from it. So it's like I said, it's been amazing for what I've seen with young people, and well, actually all generations, but it's just the young people that have really connected with the yoga and the meditation that's attached to it. So
yeah, and another thing is, like I mentioned earlier, bringing up the awareness. When we have awareness, we know what is good for us. When our mind is so cluttered, we just get whatever is sitting in front of us. But when our mind is clear, when we have clarity, when we allow the intelligence to take us, whatever see in front of us, we will pick and choose with intelligence. So for young people, yoga is definitely like the best choice for them. You know, so that you don't feel like you are turning right because your friend turned right, you're turning left because your friend do so, because you're wearing this, because someone, the movie star, is wearing this. You definitely will bring up your self-esteem. And you have the awareness, you will make better choice for yourself, better choice for your family, better choice for the future. Yeah.
That's, and I know that, you know, Swamiji was talking when he had developed this, you know, people have always been asking him, you know, what can we have for a daily practice? And so, you know, he's pulled from all different, you know, downloaded all different types, and he's come up with this. And, you know, so it's a little bit of everything that just helps you move through the day. And also, like you said, with the breathing, it's one thing else that I wanted to mention when we're on a constant run too. We are breathing always like through our upper half here, and that means not enough oxygen to the brain. And so with that, that's where our confused thoughts can happen. We can get emotional because there's just not enough that's happening. So we're bringing back the breath down into the, you know, lungs where it's supposed to be.
Yes.
And the breath actually moves the body and the mind, like it just actually takes over. And so I have been able to do, you know, amazing things that I never even thought my body could do, because I'd never been involved with like yoga. So it was just the bending and the stretching, because I just allowed the breath to take over. And so the yoga and, like I said, the meditation has been life transforming for me, and for, like I said, working with young people. And you know, even with the group homes that one of my colleagues was doing, was just amazing. They were able to really work through these emotions that were happening, and, you know, again, I think just with the active piece first, you know, it just helped them to calm down a lot. And surprising, they couldn't believe it, the workers that were there, because they thought, oh, this is never going to work. You know, not only you're going to do yoga, you're going to do meditation. So they said, they're going to last for 5 or 10 minutes. So they were all waiting, the workers, you know, and it was amazing. They went through the whole 90, and they actually didn't want to stop. And you know, she came back the next week, and they were ready and waiting for her. And, you know, so it was just watching these transformations. It's just amazing. So that's why you know, we wanted to kind of bring that knowledge to you about the yoga and the meditations and what it's been developed. So
yeah, very truly is, because Nithya Yoga, the way how it's designed, it's just like what I said earlier, it's like a full package. You know, we have asana doing the poses, we have the 5-step meditation to work on the emotion and the mind, and we also have pranayama and also mudra. So all this science, we just pretty much package all the science that help us to integrate the mind and the body together within 90 minutes. So that's why, like your case, you know, people have tried it. Once they experience once or twice, they know it is good for them.
Thank you for
oh, you're welcome.
And,
thank you.
We'll give you the website. It's www.nithyayoga.org, and we'll have that up. And also to please send your emails, and that's youth.nithyananda.org, and that'll be up on the YouTube as well. So we really appreciate your emails, and that we're again here to talk with you and to give you information and knowledge and awareness, and we'll have some fun too. So it's just really wonderful for us to be able to be connecting with you, and we look forward to seeing you on Thursday. Nithyananda.